Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Narcissism is a word that's become so frequently used that I would suggest that everybody in this room has some idea of it when they saw this as a topic. It's a popular insult used by everybody. Average citizens, members of the media, celebrities, and therapists, of course. In psychological circles, it's anywhere from being an obnoxious personality trait to a very serious mental health disorder. Where did this word narcissism come from? Narcissus was a Greek hunter, and he was known for his beauty. He was very, very proud, and he rejected everybody that loved him. So there was a nymph named Echo. Echo was particularly enamored with Narcissus. She had no voice of her own because she had had a curse placed on her, so she would only repeat what others would say. She would follow Narcissus around, admiring him from afar. She was very, very much in love with him. But what Narcissus did is he rejected her and was very annoyed with her. And one day he said to her, "I would rather die than love you." Nemesis, a Greek goddess, noticed this behavior and found it especially cruel. So she decided to place a curse on him. And the curse that she felt was fitting for him and his cruelty was that he would know the pain of unrequited love. So one day, Narcissus was looking at his own reflection in the water and fell in love. He didn't realize that it was himself. So he dove into the water to be with that image, and he never surfaced. So that is the origin of the word narcissism. Okay? What it means is a fixation with oneself, one's physical appearance, and one's public perception. Okay? Now, what does the word narcissism mean? Like I said, it's become so widely used. Everybody has some ideas around it. People are using it to describe just about everybody. Your neighbor, you probably said it about a friend, your past lovers, a lot of people will say that, right? The one assumption that's common about what is narcissism is that it is wholly destructive, right? People think that the fixation with oneself, self-centeredness, self-importance, selfishness, and self-admiration is entirely bad. But what's happening now is that there are many people who are suggesting that that is wrong, that it's a very common human personality trait, just the desire to feel special. So the research over the past 25 years has shown that the participants will report having more positive and admirable traits than negative ones compared to their peers. Okay? So what that suggests, the conclusion of all that research is that the desire or the need to feel special is not reserved for the arrogant jerks that we know, or the one scrambling for all the attention, but that it's something that we all want and need. So the majority of the research says that if you ask people to list whether they are better than or less than their friends and family, people, just the average person, they will say they are better. That most people see themselves as exceptional. And that's not a bad thing. The people who do feel that they are special are happier, they're more sociable, they're actually more healthy, they are enjoying life more. And what we call that is the better than average effect, okay? The opposite is true as well. So the people who do not feel special in any way have higher rates of anxiety and depression. They also find it hard to admire the people around them and enjoy their lives. Well, and their perception is not wrong, actually. It is actually more realistic than the better than average effect people. But these people who don't feel special, they sacrifice their happiness for that realism. So they are sadder, but wiser effect is what we call that. So what that all suggests is that we all need to feel a little special, but we need to feel it in moderation. It's when that need to feel special goes over the healthy range that it becomes dangerous. So what we found is that narcissism actually exists on a scale of 1 to 10. 0 to 10. So imagine there's a scale, 0 to 10, where as you move up the scale, your need to feel special increases. And as your need to feel special increases, you also get into an unhealthy area of functioning. So being at the lower end of the scale, at 0, this is where you have no sense of self, you have no self-importance, you're self-abnegating, you never want to feel special at all. And at 10, it's the person who's scrambling for all the attention at any cost, okay? So we have this scale. So what, the spectrum, let's call it. So let's talk a little bit about the spectrum, 0 to 10. So 0 is going to be the person who has no sense of self. The person who is always putting themselves down, never wants attention, actually rejects attention, rejects being around people. And these are the people who, you probably all know somebody like this. These are the people who, even in a very difficult situation, imagine a woman who's lost her husband in a tragic accident. This is the woman that will say, don't trouble yourself. Please don't, you don't need to do anything for me. So she would rather be alone than be surrounded by loved ones, okay? Because just that little bit of feeling special and wanting some attention makes her feel very uncomfortable. The other end of the spectrum, we have 10. These are the people who are always scrambling for attention. These are the arrogant, loud, grandiose people that we all know in our workplaces or in the neighborhood or in the family. They will do anything to get their needs met, to feel special. There's nothing that seems unreasonable to them. They will hurt people, lie, steal, cheat, to feel special, okay? So life at these two ends is very bleak, and it's very difficult to actually treat these people, the ones that are at 0 or 10. Most frequently because they're so uncomfortable with the feelings that come with narcissism. So the whole need to feel special is because they're hiding uncomfortable feelings that they just can't talk about. And those are like fear, sadness, shame, and loneliness. So to avoid those feelings, narcissists are really hanging on to this idea of being special. And you will rarely get those people into treatment, therapy. You won't see those. So now we have the scale 0 to 10. You move into the scale around 1 and 9, okay? And who are these people? The people that are on this spectrum at 1 and 9, at 1, it's going to be the person who can tolerate a little bit of attention, maybe on their birthday, and that's it. Otherwise, very avoidant of it. 9 is the person who is still seeking that attention, still very grandiose, but will occasionally feel some discomfort with it. Okay? Now 2 and 3 and 7 and 8. So at 2 and 3, you're getting the people who can kind of dream of having be great at something, or can maybe think of potentially getting some attention during some special time in their life. At 7 and 8, you know, there's a little bit more flexibility there at 7 and 8. You're going to find the people who will occasionally say something is their fault, occasionally step back and let somebody else be the center of the spotlight. They are the ones who really will say, oh yeah, you know, they're doing a lot of this empty posturing, like, oh yeah, see my new phone? Oh yeah, I don't want to tell everybody about it, right? So there's some of that acknowledgement that, you know, I have this great new big house, but like I feel a little uncomfortable talking about it. So they still want to tell you, right, to feel special, but they do know that it's not the greatest behavior. So in the middle, basically 4 to 6, this is where is the healthy range. Okay, this is where we can feel special when it's appropriate, and we can step back when it's not. So this is, you know, when women have a child, or you're ill and you need some special attention, so you're allowing other people to give you that attention, okay? But if you need to support your partner who has lost a job, or you need to celebrate your friend doing a TED Talk, and you can do that. So you can allow other people to be special, okay? So really what the conclusion here is that narcissism exists on the spectrum. We're all on it. Because I know often I'll hear my clients say, oh, I'm not a narcissist, but so-and-so is, right? Or, so we all have this personality trait. It's a healthy personality trait when we are in that healthy range, okay? So what are the different, so then there's different types of narcissists. There is the extroverted narcissist. That's the one we're all familiar with, right? The loud, obnoxious one, the one scrambling for the attention, the one posting all the pictures, the one who needs to be the center of attention, the one who needs all the praise, right? Those are the ones we know. Then there are introverted narcissists. The introverted narcissists are the people who often will look like an egoist. An egoist is a person who has no sense of self, right? So you will think that they're the 0 on the scale, but they're not. They still feel very, very special, but they are so afraid of judgment, they're so afraid of shame that they avoid people, okay? But they still feel very special. These people can also be very smug, the kind that nothing's good for them. You know, oh, I'm going to leave this party, that's not good for me. Or that wasn't good enough for me. But they actually feel this, like they have some special gift that people just don't recognize. That they are, they have some hidden talents, and everybody else is below them, and nobody could really understand them, okay? And then there are the communal narcissists. The communal narcissists are the ones who are all about helping and giving. They are very uncomfortable with taking any attention for them, actually not attention, they want attention, but they're uncomfortable with accepting help because they want to be the one who gives. They want to give to charities. They want to give their time. They're the ones that'll corner you in a room and be like, oh yeah, so my friend and I helped her and I did this and I did that. They're the ones who are always helping, and then wanting to tell people they're helping, because that's what makes them feel special. That they are giving and not taking, okay? So what you see here is that there are definitely different ways to express your need to feel special. The commonality, though, is that they are better than everybody else, okay? So back to the spectrum, and can we move up and down the spectrum? Are we fixated at one place on the spectrum? And the answer is no. That we can actually move up and down if we are within a healthy range. That we can change ourselves to adjust to the situation that's at hand. That we don't have to always feel special or always be in the shadows, right? How are narcissists made? This is a debate that has gone on forever. Nature versus nurture. Are we born narcissists? How does it happen? I think a lot of people who've dealt with narcissists will wonder, how did this person become like this? Why are they like this? And the reality of that is that narcissists are definitely made by the way they are raised and by the environment they're raised in. So we're obviously, none of us are a blank slate. We're all born with a certain temperament, right? We are either born introverted, born extroverted, right? And what happens is the way we are parented impacts how we're going to grow up to be. So what that means is the core experience of whether we're going to go into an unhealthy or healthy range of narcissism is all based on one concept: insecure love. So what that means is that as children, we need to know that no matter what we do, we are going to be loved. No matter what we don't do, we are going to be loved. That we don't have to posture and be grandiose in order to get the love we need from our parents, or we don't have to hide in the shadows to get the love we need from our parents. So children need to grow up knowing that they are loved and supported by the people who are raising them in order for them to be adults who are in the healthy range of narcissism. Okay, so then just extreme narcissism, and that's, I think, another entirely different TED Talk, but just to talk about it a little bit. Extreme narcissists are the people who feel entitled and are willing to exploit to get what they want. So we call that in psychological circles the EE factor: exploitation and entitlement. When people feel that they are special and are willing to do anything in order to get what they feel they deserve, they're willing to lie, steal, cheat, distort, ruin people's self-esteem, ruin people financially. That's exploitation. And that's where you get the extreme narcissists. And they will hurt you, and they will destroy you, and they're very, very difficult to treat. And my only advice for that is to run. Do not stay with them. Do not think you can fix them. Do not think you can change them. They're very, very difficult to change. So it turns out that narcissism is not so bad after all. That the need to feel special can actually help us enjoy our lives more. It can help us grow to a higher potential and love our family and friends even more. So go out there, feel special, and have a great life with it. Thank you.